What do you think? We've seen this progression. We're talking about music now. It first starts with maybe singing and playing instruments in your local region thousands of years ago. And then the 20th century, with the technology, we're infusing technology and we're able to record things and press it onto vinyl. So now other people can play it rather than during like a classical time where you composed and you wrote it, and then that writing, other musicians could perform it because they're reading it. And now we're recording sounds out in nature and then infusing them into like editing. What is the future of music 100 years from now look like? Like, how are people creating music 100 years from now?
There's a great okay, so there's a show called Look Around You. Have you
Okay.
ever heard of it?
No.
There's a show called Look Around You. It's a show created by I think it was Peter. It's
Who, say that again? Peter who?
Peter Serafinowicz.
Okay.
Okay, so Peter Serafinowicz did the show called Look Around You, and there's a scene in Look Around You where it's like the future of music. And it's like the
Really?
song was like Macademu, 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 Demu, Demu. And they're trying to like figure out what the sound of music is going to be like in the year 2000. And it's
Okay.
examples of it are just extremely ridiculous. And I'll send it to you. And I think that is the example of what music is going to sound like 100 years from now. I have no idea. It's going to blow our minds. It's going to just be completely uh, I don't know. Maybe we'll just have the same thing that we have today: trap house and electronic music and
I
rap.
don't know. I feel like so one of my favorite books is But What If We're Wrong by Chuck Klosterman.
Uh-huh.
And he has this idea, he has this question really of like, the book is based on thinking about the present as if it were the past.
Yeah.
And we think we're so certain right now, but so did like people in 1910 and so forth and so forth. So he asks the idea of like how rock music will be remembered 500 years from now.
Whoa.
And will rock music, when we think of, say, classical music, we only remember like three names. So as we go farther, we're only going to remember singular names in history. And what will it be? What will rock music be remembered as? Would it be like Bob Dylan and it was about this, like what you were actually saying? Or would it be more like Elvis and like big hair and sex and rock and roll type of thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so he has that idea, and he's wondering if, however they're learning in classrooms or whatever, rock music is just like this footnote and they know like nothing about rock music at all, and they'll play like a sample of it. And it's interesting to think about how our more like interactions with each other globally, say you have like, in England, they only have like certain instruments, but then Africa and the Caribbean, they're using just like different things. So now all these sounds start blending together. And in a more like globalized world, all these sounds are coming together. And then our technology of just like editing and sampling and recording, all of them are merging together. I wonder if there's going to be like technology in the future where we can like feel sound waves, or and it'll, I have no idea. I feel like everything is so possible right now. I have
You
no
mean we're not
idea.
gonna? You mean we're not gonna run out of music to play? There's people who think that we're gonna run
There's
out
just
of.
going to be
We're gonna use
more
all
and
the
more and
notes.
more.
We're gonna
And
run
it's
out of music to
almost
play. Every note's gonna every combination of notes is gonna be written. Every combination of words is gonna be written somehow.
yeah.
There's gonna be no more music. There's
But
gonna be
how will we
all of it.
experience it? That's what I'm curious.
How about do you think the experience of music is gonna change? We'll
Like
plug
what if
a robot and have
more
it.
and more like
Yeah,
music is becoming more accessible. Anybody can record and then put something on Spotify, and that can resonate with
it's
people.
also hard as hell to make music. It's so hard.
But what if people like everybody collaborates. I don't know. Like it's so interesting how it used to be like record companies would
Yeah.
control what people listen to, but now if people are finding music and sounds in their own ways, how does that shape music and people's experiences? I'm just
Well, it's
thinking.
almost like Spotify has taken the place of the record labels because I
It
just
is,
find
yeah.
music through Spotify and I just pay a monthly subscription, and it's almost like the same bands that would be promoted by other record labels because, like I said earlier, it's so hard to make music sound good.
Yeah.
Like, we think music is such an easy endeavor because look at all these great bands. There's only a few great bands compared to all of the thousands, hundreds of thousands of mediocre musicians. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that as a testament to how
Yeah.
difficult it is to make good music. It's just very, very difficult to make music that sounds good. Most of the music sucks. And again, I don't mean I can't make good music. If I were to play guitar or sing, it would be terrible. Just because I listen to good bands doesn't mean I can play well. I can't. I suck at it.
Right.
It's hard.